Have you ever set up a system like a time management or a planning system or some sort of organizational system in your house just to have it fall apart and you're not sure why? How do you know if it's your system that's failing or if it's you? In this video, I'll share how to find out and what to do about it. Before we dive into this, it's important to know that no matter how good your system is, sometimes we still have user errors, just like programs, right? You go and you log in and you want to use your Google or whatever the account is that you want to use, and you find it's not functioning, and then you find out it's because you accidentally hit a button or you input something wrong. Systems can be the same way. If we have set up a system and it is a perfect system, but our behavior is not adapted to use the perfect system, well, the system's no good if we don't use it, right? And so that's the kind of thought process that we have when we start looking into whether or not it's the system or whether or not it's us. So how do we know if it's the system that needs to be changed or it's us? Let's start with the first question. How much effort is it taking you to maintain your system? Because if you are spending hours to maintain your system, then that's a problem. If I am organizing my closet, but I want to color code everything, that's a high maintenance system. So that might be part of the problem. So if your system is built and you feel like you're putting effort into maintaining the system, it's probably the system. In some cases, you might find yourself having 5 journals, but it doesn't feel like it's a lot to maintain. And that's totally cool. Everyone is unique. But my question for you is, do you feel like you have to put a lot of effort in to use your system? If the answer is yes, then you'll want to take a look at that and digest a little bit more about what you can do to streamline that system so that it's reducing the barrier, reducing the effort that it takes to go ahead and use that system. Let's move to our next question. Does the system increase or decrease barriers to the habits that you do or don't want to do? Or decrease the barrier appropriate to the habit that you're looking to do more often or that you're looking to decrease? So when we're looking at our systems, we want to start thinking about the habits that we're trying to do consistently. The habits that we're trying to do consistently, we want to make sure that the barriers for us to do those habits on a day-to-day basis is as low as possible, right? So, for example, if I wanted to make sure that I was going for a walk around the block more often, I would want to make sure that I'm wearing comfortable clothes every day that I feel good walking in. And then I would want to put my shoes by the door or wear comfortable shoes if I'm in the office to make sure that going for a walk around the block or around the building is easy to do. An example of how we would want to increase the friction for us to stop certain habits that we want to do is if I found that I was constantly scrolling on Facebook or Instagram, perhaps I would delete that app from my phone so that if I really wanted to go and look at Facebook on my phone, I'd have to reinstall the app to then take the time to look at it. There are many ways to increase or decrease the friction in our systems to help support the habits that we want to do and help us break habits we don't want to do. So when you're looking at your system, you want to ask yourself, is this applying friction? Is it making things harder or easier for me in the right way? Another question we want to ask ourselves is it easy to use the system when I need it? Or is it difficult? For example, when you're looking at your calendar and you have set your calendar system up, is it easy for you to use? Does it require 5, 6 different calendars, different planners, and looking and checking and coordinating with people? Or is everything flowing into one location where you actually know what's going on and you can find it easy to figure out how you want to manage your time throughout the day? Your goal here is to build systems that support you. And for your system to support you, it has to be easy to use. After we've gone through those 3 key areas there, how much effort our system takes to use or maintain, whether or not the system is creating barriers or friction in the right way to help us do our habit more consistently or not do the habits that we don't want to do. And then your last one is how easy is it for you to access the system to use it? We'll want to dive into these last 3 questions here that are going to drive a lot more clarity on whether it's the system or us. So the first question that we're going to look at in this particular area here, which is really honing on behavior versus system, is when you are following the system, are you doing the behaviors and actions that you want to do? Next question, when you're following your system, are you making progress towards your goals? And our last question here is, when you're following your system, are you meeting your measurements for success? If you answered yes to any of those last 3 questions, then it's your behavior that you want to focus on shifting. So how do we shift our behavior? The first thing that you'll want to do is watch your self-talk. What are you telling yourself every single day? Are you beating yourself up for the days that you don't accomplish what it is that you wanted to accomplish, or the days that you're not using your system? If you are, stop that. Stop. Your self-talk should be supportive and encouraging. Have some compassion for yourself, right? We are all human and we are all just trying to get by day to day, whatever it is, the situation that we're enduring. So I would encourage you to change that self-talk. For example, if you're telling yourself that you should do this or you should do that, don't should all over yourself. Should is something that is kind of saying, hey, I failed in this thing. And if you're constantly telling yourself you're a failure, you're going to feel like a failure. So changing your self-talk to being supportive, encouraging, and kind of being your own best friend is really what's going to help drive a lot of those behavior changes that you're looking to do. The second thing you can do here is get an accountability partner. Find someone who can hold you personally accountable. And if you want to push yourself to get started, let your accountability partner know that you'll buy them coffee if you don't do this task or event, or you'll donate to some charity. I would only suggest using it for a couple weeks. It's just to help get you motivated to keep doing the thing. After that, you'll want to just start letting them know. And then eventually you won't need an accountability partner because it's become second nature. And at this point, a new habit. There is a process to developing a successful system that can support you. Check out the link below to get my free ebook, which is a step-by-step guide on how to do just that. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you'd like to see more.